and welcome to Jack Talk. I'm Cole Sala.
And I'm Aisha Dove.
On this week's Jack Talk, I visited Applebee Farms, where I learned some of the ways farmers can grow totally organic, natural fruits and vegetables.
Some of our reporters got the scare of a lifetime when they got to visit the Haunted Village.
And last but not least, we have some folks from the Culinary Cafe coming to talk to us about their experience running a restaurant here on campus. We have a great show for you today, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Jack Talk. Today we are taking a look at Applebee Farm. I was lucky enough to go out and talk to the owner of the farm, Brian Pruitt, and it is a totally organic farm that grows totally natural fruits and vegetables. Let's take a look. Here we are at Applebee Farm, where they grow exclusively fresh organic produce. I got to take a walk around the property with the owner, Brian Pruitt. So let's go and take a look. Brian and Cindy Pruitt bought 9 acres of land to start a bed and breakfast, but instead decided to start a all-natural organic farm that serves most of Nacogdoches. I got to talk and get a private tour with Mr. Pruitt himself. Well, so explain to us about the CSA concept.
Well, that's something that's not new. It's been around for a very long time. It's more prevalent in the Northeast than it is up here, but I believe what I read, it was from Japan, and it was just the idea of having a community that supports the farm that supports them, and it's a give and take, and that allows the farmer to have a regular income and keep farming, and it provides food for the community.
You talked to us about it's $100 a month. Is it a month?
It's $100 a month for the share, and you get a share every week.
Okay. Every Tuesday, right?
Tomorrow's our distribution day, so we'll get our members come and pick up their food.
Okay. And so it's kind of coming into winter, fall. So what right now would you say is growing and what is kind of faded off?
Well, part of the concept is that people have to learn to eat seasonally. So right now we got cold weather crops going into the ground, which is cabbages, broccolis, cauliflowers, lettuces, the greens like collard greens and kale, and we have parsley, cilantro, all those plants that grow in the cooler climates. So that's our crops right now.
So, and also this is a totally organic farm, so we're not using any kind of pesticides, and we're using natural fertilizer. Explain to us about that natural fertilizer.
Well, that's I think God created it that way. They didn't have chemical fertilizers. They use things that are naturally occurring in the soil, and we use food scraps, manures when we can find them, and we compost it, and that's all the plants that you see out in the field that are dead. We put those on the pile too, and that goes into making a pretty good nutritious topping for our soil.
And we walked back there, and there's a pot. We got a pile of food, kind of old scraps. How long does that take to turn into what you would put on the plants?
Well, it depends, but in most cases, 10 months to a year. It takes a while for it to break down, and there's a lot of heat generated in there through the microorganisms that are working in the soil to break the compost down. And then when you kind of know when it's ready because the temperature gets much less. It'll be right now that pile is probably 160 to 180 degrees inside there, with all these microorganisms working, and they break it down, and in about a year it will stop smelling, and it'll be a lot cooler, and it'll be soil that we can use to feed.
The majority of the work is done by Brian and Cindy, But with the help from the community, SFA itself, people can volunteer and come out and help them with any work that needs to be done, ranging from planting, pulling weeds, and cleaning out chicken coops.
Events every year. One is called a hootenanny, and it's a potluck where we supply the meat and dishes, and everybody brings their favorite concoction, and we get together for fellowship. And there's usually live music at that gathering, and it's always a fun time. And in April, we will have our music festival that's held here at the farm, and always look forward to that because it's a great day of fun where the farm can have a little bit of something extra going on, and people can actually come and see it.
If you're interested in learning more about Appleby Farm, you can check out their website, applebycommunityfarm.com. That's APPLEBY communityfarm.com. Volunteer at their farm or go see them at the Nacogdoches Farmers Market every Saturday morning.
Wow, that looked amazing. What was it like there? Was it big? It looks
Oh,
huge.
yeah, it was. I mean, he said it's not that big of a farm, but for me, being a city boy, that was a big farm. And it was a lot of fun. I got to taste a lot of fresh. There's nothing like fresh fruit,
Yeah.
fresh fruits and vegetables. When you eat some fresh fruits and vegetables, you don't want to go back.
It's nice
to
and homegrown. You can feel the love and care that was put into it.
It just tastes different than Walmart stuff. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
for sure.
Yeah.
What was it like holding that chicken?
I don't want to get too excited, but that was awesome. I
That's
love
cool.
chickens, and that was great.
Yeah, you looked really.
I
you
was
looked
so
pumped.
excited. I didn't think I was going to catch a chicken, and he was like, you need to get him in a corner, and you go for it. And I grabbed that chicken, and I was so excited.
No nerves?
And little nerves that I wouldn't catch it. But it honestly is a beautiful farm altogether, and he talked about that he did struggle a little bit with worms coming and eating some of the plants, but overall, it was gorgeous farm, great fresh fruit and vegetables. So
That's awesome. I
yeah.
definitely want to take a trip out there.
Well, anyway, when we come back, we will take a spooky trip out to the Haunted Village. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Jack Talk. It's that spooky time of the year again, and I know I'm ready for the scares. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm totally ready. I've been ready since last Halloween.
Are you a Halloween fan?
Oh, it's my favorite holiday. Literally, Halloween decorations all year.
Really?
Oh,
It is.
yeah.
I believe that because I've been over to your house, and I know you keep them up all year long.
Yep, I have an inflatable ghost. He's like this big. I love him.
I don't get that. I like Halloween, but I think Christmas tops it for me. Have you?
No.
Okay. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in?
Of course. Everything Halloween, I'm all about it. I definitely believe in it. Haunted houses are my absolute favorite.
Really? I haven't seen a ghost yet, so I can't really believe in it, but, we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and check out the haunted house that Molly went to see out in the field.
Stephen F. Austin State University Residence Life has been putting on a Halloween haunted house every October for about 10 years. Every year they do it a little differently, but always have the same goal in mind, to scare the students of SFA and make sure they have a good time doing it. This year the haunted house was located at Lumberjack Village Community Center. The house started in the game room and stretched throughout the hallways and rooms of the first floor. Each room had a different theme inside of it. Going through the haunted house averaged about 5 to 8 minutes. The cast had fun with all the planning and mostly enjoyed getting to put on all the scary makeup, fake blood, and creating their own costumes.
So we started preparing for Haunted Village late August, early September. As soon as we came in for training, we had to start figuring out how it was going to be set up and plan that before we could start decorating and figuring out how to scare people. We actually build the walls ourselves. We have this industrial tarp that we use that we just, put up for the walls. It's a very temporary situation, but we are utilizing the game room that we had the escape room in last time as our waiting room for the haunted house goers. So the first room that they'll enter is kind of a family dinner room where they have like skulls on the table on plates and stuff, and then they have the butcher room where a butcher will, pop out and scare them. And then after that, they go into like the maze portion, which is asylum, and then there's a graveyard, and then we have a dark church and a ritual room at the end.
We had the privilege to go behind the scenes and take a look of the step-by-step process of all the actors getting ready and getting into costume for the haunted house.
My hair. That was gonna be the last. I forgot that. I know. Make sure you wet it.
I'm Molly. I'm at the Haunted Village 2018. We're about to take a look inside, and I'm probably going to get the pants scared off of me. Let's go. I believe in it. Believe in the power of the shirt. You're right, in the shirt. Okay, go. All right, you're ready to go first. No. I can't see any. Oh my God, there's a man over there. Yikes. I won't go in there again. Okay, here we go. Please don't. I see you. You don't have to move or nothing. Oh my God. Okay. Nice to meet you. I don't know where I'm going. I see you. Can you please move? Okay. It's a no-go for me. I think we're at church. I'm starting to feel a little bit of a sting. I've been down sober. Okay. Just, amen. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm gonna keep going. Thank you for this fright. Oh, I don't want to go in that one. That's a no for me. I need to go ahead and just cancel that one. I'm not about that at all. Someone needed to get that girl some holy water and throw it on her. I had so much fun. Definitely got the pants scared off of me. Everyone here at Village did such a great job putting all of this together. A lot of hard work got put into this. If you're out and about this time next year, you should come check it out.
That looked hilarious.
That was interesting. Molly looked like she had a great time. She definitely looked like she got scared.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I could have gone. That looked fun.
Me too.
That looked like a lot of fun. Have you ever been to one of those haunted houses where you walk through it?
Yes, I'm from Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and there's this haunted house in downtown. It's like been on like National Geographic and all that jazz. It was crazy. I feel like every time I go to haunted houses with my friends, I'm always that person that gets like singled out and like cornered.
Yep.
And I literally ended up like 2 groups back from all my friends because I was
Really?
cornered for like 10 minutes.
Really?
It was terrifying. But
Yeah,
it was
I went.
so much fun.
I went when I was a little kid, and I can't go back. I was scarred. It was one
Scarred?
of those little
Petrified?
boat. Yeah, it was one of those little boat rides. You take a little boat ride down, and they jump at you from the corners. I'm not ever gonna go in another haunted house again.
Scarred.
Yeah, it's
So maybe
just
that's
too
why
much.
you don't like Halloween.
I don't think that's the reason. I used to like it until they stopped letting me trick or treat.
Disrespect.
The neighbors.
That's what I call it. Disrespect.
Well, when you're 16, you know, it's time to stop. There's got to be a stopping point. I understand it. Doesn't mean I really like it.
Is it really a reason to stop though, if you think about it?
Creativity has no age. That's what I have to say.
I've always wanted to be a part of a haunted house. Like, do the whole makeup and like actually scare people. That would probably be so fun.
Would you would do that?
Yeah, those people on the video on the package looked like they had a great time. They looked like they loved it. Like
They
that just
did.
looks
They really
great.
did,
And
yeah.
all that makeup.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think for one night, and then I wouldn't want to do it maybe 2 nights. But
I feel like you'd look great in makeup.
I think so. I just don't think I could pull those kind of scares. Those people were professional. I couldn't pull those kind of scares. I would scare myself or
Maybe
something.
it's some of the theater majors. They definitely probably have that down pat.
Could definitely do it. Definitely do it. Either way, I'm excited about Halloween. If I'm not going to go to haunted house, I'm not going to go to haunted house. That's fact. But, you know, I'm still excited.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
We'll see.
When we come back, we'll be talking to members of the Culinary Cafe staff to see what it's like to run a restaurant. Welcome back to Jack Talk. Fall is finally upon us, and one of the best parts of the season is the food.
Here to talk to us about the cooking are Brittany Reinsch and Sam Kimball of the Culinary Cafe staff. But before we talk to them, we have a video of them in action, so let's go take a look.
Don't make another one. Just use those two. I know. Just use those two. No, we don't have to refill them. Yeah, but you know, you're just.
This week, we had the privilege and pleasure of entering the culinary kitchen with the hospitality program, and we got a first-hand look at the amazing Culinary Cafe, a working cafe run by students. Each cafe session hosts over 60 guests and is run entirely by those students. Just to get a seat is no small feat. Tickets went for sale at 8 a.m. Tuesday, September 11th, and within 20 minutes were sold out. The cafe prides itself on the meals cooked and how although the tickets are sold for $10, the meals received are worth over 3 times that. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m., HMS 404 and 407 get to class, put their things in their lockers, and get cooking. The Culinary Cafe is a real restaurant on campus offering some of the most delicious, original food out there. From Texas barbecue, Mediterranean, to Asian fusion, the students in the cafe have prepared it all. Every week the cuisine is different. I had the chance to join them on Creole Day. The food was meticulously cooked by the students. Upon getting there in the morning, they prepare everything in advance. From the shrimp and grits appetizer, French onion soup, roasted chicken and potatoes main course, the king cake bread pudding dessert, everything had to be prepared perfectly. The students work in rotations, each having a chance to serve in the kitchen and at the cafe portions. Almost 24 students in 2 different classes, HMS 404 and HMS 407, work together switching between the front of the house and the kitchen portion of the cafe. They all had the chance at some point to be general manager, bus, host, server, chef, and even head chef. Being head chef is perhaps the most important role in the cafe. Each student is given the role and allowed to choose a theme for their meals. The meals prepared by the head chef and the chefs under them are planned out sometimes a month in advance. Every meal is portion controlled and the ingredients to be bought have to be precisely calculated. The head chef delegates the kitchen and is the person who the day rides on. Oven space is limited, so the head chef has to plan accordingly and organize the kitchen with this in mind. Just as important as the meal is tasting good, it is looking good.
Right? Oh, that's a smart. I was going to put it into the squirt bottle. Just back and forth, and then on your color.
Oh, how cute!
Purple on one side. Yellow in the middle.
Yes, thank you.
And green on the end. That's it.
Here, look.
Okay.
I got that.
Being prepared, the food is moved to another kitchen where it will be plated appropriately. The students work in tandem, plating food and sending it to the servers who bring it to the guest. Arriving to the cafe, each guest can expect world-class service. The menus are set up so every guest can experience the same fine meal. They are first served water, tea, or coffee upon request. Next, the appetizers are brought out and shortly after the meal follows, concluding with the dessert. Following their meal, each guest fills out a survey about the quality of their food and service. The cafe opens every year and is a popular place for staff and faculty to visit for lunch. Next fall, make sure to stay updated and grab a ticket to experience one of the coolest places at SFA. With Jack Talk, I'm Dale Reeves.
All right, that was amazing. Sam, Brittany, thank you guys for coming.
Oh, no problem.
So what exactly is the Culinary Cafe? Can you describe that for us?
To me, Culinary Cafe is like a mock restaurant. So every day you either have to prep the day before or you have to come in at 7 or 8 a.m. to make sure that everything gets prepped so every person has a meal. If one person doesn't get a meal, then you failed for that day. It shows all the parts of a restaurant, front of the house, which is like your servers, your drinks, your beverage, setting the table, to the back of the house, which is what we do mainly, and is the culinary portion, chopping, sauteing, all that jazz.
So you guys work your way up through all of these positions, right? You do every single one.
Yes.
Tell us what that's like. I mean, you have
Every
to do it
week
all.
we get a head chef, and so basically it like rotates and sees like which person's done the previous week and see like, oh, do we want them on this position? And basically it's just a rotating process.
It forces you to get an experience in every part of the machine of a restaurant, so you know like where your strengths come to play.
So you both get the opportunity to be head chefs, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I personally have already had mine. I was the first week, and hers comes later in November.
So what is that like? What is the responsibility of being head chef since you've already done it? What does that entail?
So for head chef, what I had to do is I had to do the math part of getting all the portions to feed 60 people. So every Tuesday, Thursday, we feed 60 people. So we take our recipes and we have to standardize them to meet all the portion sizes and everything to feed those people. You also have to create your grocery list, and for instance, if you miss one egg on your grocery list, then the whole recipe is messed up because you don't have that egg. And so you have to create your grocery list, facilitate the kitchen, delegate tasks, and making sure that everything gets done so that the meal gets done.
How do you come up with these menus? You have to get all the grocery lists together. How do you come up with a menu for these 60 people, or do you do it?
We have to meet with our executive chef, Chef Todd, and he goes over the menus with us, gives us critiques and thinking, ooh, I don't think that sounds that good. And so if that happens, then we have to go back and reevaluate what we think, what flavor-wise, what complements each other, what doesn't, and it has to go with a specific theme and cuisine.
Okay.
Yes.
So what was your theme?
My cuisine of the day was country cooking. So for me, I did a bacon spinach risotto with a grilled peach airline chicken breast with a roasted corn cheddar chowder and a hummingbird cake with a cream cheese filling.
Wow.
And what is your theme?
My theme is Asian, so I'll be focusing on Chinese. I'm actually head chef next Thursday. So what I'm doing is the egg drop soup with the Mongolian chicken and a chili and mushroom fried rice, and then almond cookies served with green tea ice cream for dessert.
Wow.
We should go.
That sounds
Sounds
awesome.
so good.
Oh my God. How do you sign up for this?
Basically, there are tickets that go out every semester, and they sell out within like 20 minutes because it's so popular, and it's $10 a ticket, and you're able to go as many times as it's able to occupy. So it's very quick and fast paced.
Wow. Are you stressed out about this, or because it's coming up? Are you stressed?
Yeah, I'm barely prepared, but it's okay. We got it.
You're gonna do great.
Thank
You're
you.
gonna do great.
She killed it. Her person. She killed it. So.
Well, thank
good.
you guys so much for coming. Definitely this is something we're very interested in taking a part of. It sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you guys very much.
No problem.
No problem.
Well,
Thank you.
That's it for this week's Jack Talk. Be sure to tune in next week when we'll have some more exciting stories and interviews. Until then, I'm Aisha Dove.
And I'm Cole Sala.
And this has been Jack Talk. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I want to do that so bad.
Yeah.